Polymorphism. As the name suggests, it's using one form in multiple ways. So this has two subcategories. One is method overloading, and the other is method overriding. We'll go through one by one now. So let's look at method overloading first. For this, let's take a example of building a calculator. Okay. And let's declare a class calculator, class as calculator, and let's specify a method called multiply. Yeah, it returns an int. So multiply. Let let this take two arguments, int a and int b. So we'll just return a times b, and what polymorphism overloading does is you can declare another method with the same name, multiply, and you can pass in the extra argument. So let's return a into b into c. So in the main method, we can use both this by just we can use either of this by just explicitly declaring the specific variables. So let's first initialize this calculator. So calculator equals to new calculator. Let's change to equal to, and now let's return where result 1 equals calculator dot multiply. So if I specify two arguments here, let's take 5 comma 4. If you see, it is taking the first one. So based on the arguments, it will dynamically pick which method to use. And let's do a result 2 with calculator dot multiply, which takes 3 arguments. So this should ideally pick the second method, second multiply. Okay, so if we do a console.write line, this should give with both the arguments passing result 1 comma result 2. So if you look at the result, it will execute the first one and it will give uh, 5 into 4, which is 20 in result 1, and 2 into 3 into 4, which is 24 in result 2. So let's run this thing. Okay, perfect. Now you see that it's giving 20 and 24 as expected. So that is how that is all about method overloading. Now let's look at method overriding. So for method overriding, we need to understand a concept called inheritance. You can watch another video on inheritance just to get a basic overview. Let's get rid of the existing code and we'll write a new one for this. So let's start by writing a new class called base class, and this will have a, let's put a constructor for this. and let it print an output uh, with hit at uh, base class constructor. Okay, and let us add another class derived class which is inherited from base class. Let's have a constructor for this derived class. Let it give an output saying hit at derived class constructor. Okay, now let's add a method to derived class. Actually, let's add it to the base class first. Public virtual, so string call, and then let this return a string. So virtual and override are the two things that you have to use. So virtual goes in the base class and override you will provide to the class which you want to be overridden. So this base class, and inside the derived class I'll declare a public override string with the same name, method name call. And let's let this return a string, and let this return at call in derived class. This is coming from derived class. Okay, let's now call this from main. So let's initialize the derived class. Okay, now let's call the call method and insert that in result. Actually, let's do it dc result equals derived class dot call. Okay, and let's get the base class equal to new base class, and then let's assign this to bc result. Okay, so now let's print these two results. So the DC result will be coming from even though there is a call method in base class, as we are overriding this using the call method in derived class, it is going to get whatever is there in the derived class. So in the first argument 0, you should see a message with derived class constructor. Sorry, call in derived class. And the next time when we are calling the base class, it will directly call the call method inside the base class and it should return a string which says at call in base class. Let's see if this works. Just making sure everything is Looking good. Okay, let's run this. Okay, as you can see, it's giving the derived class first. The override, that's the overridden part, and call in base class is a regular call to the base class method. So these are the two concepts for polymorphism. I hope you guys understood, and thanks for watching.